Alosha, do you still remember that Snezhnayan folktale you told me about? It was about the Grim Reaper. When someone's about to die, he appears as an incarnation of someone familiar to guide their... And as soon as you recognize his face, your life...
I heard a similar tale when I was little. You think the...
That's right. In which case, death is near, could all...
Death? When I first saw this note, I thought it contradicted the investigation report.
So the Grim Reaper deliberately misled us. Then...
By that logic, the one person... Identifying the Grim Reaper is a Identifying the Grim Reaper is a major decision to make. Identifying the Grim Reaper is a major decision to make. I should think it... Identifying the Grim Reaper is a major decision to make. I should think... No doubt about it. It's Alosha. Looking back at how everyone has acted over the past few days, Alosha is most likely the Grim Reaper lurking among us. Is it you, Alosha? You were the first to discover the investigation report, and you had plenty of time to slip the note inside to mislead us.
So? Surely you can't suspect me based on that alone. What if someone else found the investigation report first, slipped the note inside, and then put it back without telling anyone?
There's no denying it. The note could...
That's not all. I've also noticed that although on the surface, Valeri, Mitya, and sometimes looking back now, even though you didn't say much, you were always...
What do you mean?
You were the one who emphasized how dangerous it was outside and insisted we all stay here. And earlier today, you tried to convince Patashka to stay. I don't understand why...
So, you didn't understand...
He still won't admit it.
The biggest question I have right now is, if the Grim Reaper is impersonating Alosha, then where's the real Alosha?
No, the ruler of death... No, the ruler... That's right. This, right at the start, before any victims had even emerged. When all this began, right after the performance ended and the snowstorm began to pick up, no one suspected anything unusual. It wasn't until we discovered the bodies the morning after that we realized something out of the ordinary. But it's clear now that the oddities actually started earlier than that, when Dimov walked into the snowstorm and never came back.
Right. So Mr. Dimov was the first victim, not...
And if we pinpoint that moment as the beginning of this incident, Alosha, you are the only person who walked into the snowstorm and came back without the help of Vodyanitsa's Requiem.
More precisely, Alosha never came back at all. The one who came back was the Grim Reaper.
Not bad. Well, since you've backed me into a corner, I suppose there's no point in keeping up the act anymore.
Alosha?
You're the Grim Reaper?
I am no such tired cliché. Mortals should address me as the ruler of death. Before being wiped out for good, you identified the two deceased, and even sensed my presence. A commendable achievement, far beyond what I expected.
I heard you can ferry souls. Those deaths each night. Were they your doing?
Your initial conclusion was correct. Due to the existence of the two deceased, the ley lines yearned to reclaim. Every night they devoured an equal number of souls to fill the void. Here, take a look.
What are you doing?
That takes care of today's two. Don't get so worked up. You are already dead, and your souls must return to the ley lines.
I know we're already dead. You murdered us, didn't you?
Murdered? No. Murder is when mortals usurp my authority. Death is my jurisdiction. If I require someone to die, I need not resort to such laborious methods as murder. You simply met the criteria to trigger my curse of death.
I know about the curse of immortality. You cursed us? When? And why would you do such a thing?
So often, humans pray to me, begging to know when their death will come and what form it will take. But few people ask why. If you must have an answer, know that...
So you're not gonna tell us the truth?
Hold your tongue. By all rights, you shouldn't even be allowed to speak with me. Those angels from the past are to blame for the reckless renovation of the ley lines here. It's made...
Work? So trapping us here, making us watch our friends die, that's just another day at work for you?
You clearly have a lot of questions. Fine. As a reward for your remarkable... After the physical body dies, the soul must return to the ley lines for that person's... My work encompasses the entire process of death, including, naturally, you must also be rather familiar with Natlan's Night Kingdom, I presume? It was I who supported the creation of the Night Kingdom. It provided a convenient means of guiding the souls of Natlan. Here, too, the ley lines connected to the theater underwent some modifications. The angels hoped to make... But this actually hindered their ability to accept ordinary souls. This effect manifested itself after you died from the curse in the theater, leaving you stranded in the afterlife, unable to achieve a complete death. But if souls who die from the curse of death fail to return to the ley lines within a short window of time, they will miss their chance for good. Then, they will remain forever suspended between life and death, no longer subject to the authorities of either.
So if you don't resolve this matter soon, and see all our souls return to the ley lines before long...
Mitya is sharp. This must be what Renova was... But if you have the authority to guide souls, why didn't you just show yourself and get it over with? Why hide among us in the form of Alosha?
You seek to understand the mind of a god. Very well. I'll tell you. This is a theater, and I decided I wanted to watch a show about death. I found myself getting quite immersed. I suppose the entertainment you provided makes up for all the trouble you've caused me by being so defiant in the face of death. There. Are you happy with my answer?
Can't say I am.
Really? But it fits the stereotype.
Just moments ago, you were complaining about how inferior... Work is work, I get it.
That's a rather unique perspective for a human. You are in fact correct. There is a pain point in this case. Due to the obstruction in the theater's ley lines, there is a hard limit on the number of... Revealing my identity too soon would inevitably have led to futile resistance. Then there was the issue of the two lost souls you called the deceased. The way...
That's what I don't understand. If all of us were souls of the...
For centuries, they have refused to return to the ley lines, exploiting the issues created by the angel civilization to resist being drawn in. Centuries of obsession accumulated during this process. It reached the point where I could not afford to leave it unchecked. But the only way to fix it, only then, with my guidance, could they finally return to the ley lines. Otherwise, you would not like to know what the consequences would have been.
I vaguely remember seeing Batashka, but in the most terrifying form. Was that in a dream? Is that what would have become of her if she hadn't returned to the ley line?
I see your dreams brought you many revelations. So you see. Anyway, giving psychological counseling to lost souls is not my strong suit. That is more of an angel's role. It was something I could not resolve directly using my authority, so I decided it was easier to leave the bomb defusal to you. Meanwhile, of course, their presence caused the souls of other members of your party to return to the ley lines each night. From where I stand, that was killing two birds with one stone, as both issues slowly resolved one another without me having to lift a finger. And, of course, while I was at it,
Sounds like you had it all figured out, Grim Reaper. I just did the math. You said there's a hard limit to the...
that much is obvious.
It's time to review this whole affair. If the ley lines can only take... Looking back now, none of us had the faintest idea at the time. From the moment that staff member named Demoff walked into the snowstorm, the incident had already begun. No, let me go over the... No. Let... No. Let... No. Let... No. No. Let me go over... No. 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 Alosha was the second to walk into the snowstorm after Demoff took. During this process, the ruler of death assumed his identity, making him one of the victims. During our first night in the theater, everyone was caught up in the novelty of it all. No one could have expected there would be victims the very next morning. Despite all the confusion, and with the help of hindsight, we finally began to realize that something was amiss with the snowstorm. No. No. The ley lines devoured Odette and I spoke a lot that night. 3 people were on watch, but in the morning, we discovered that someone had fallen victim all the same. The deaths of Coolish and unexplainable phenomena occurred one after... Later, we discovered that there seemed to be an extra person among us, and subsequently discovered the existence of the deceased. Mr. Schramm realized he was the deceased and walked into the snowstorm to return to the ley lines of his own. He thought a lot happened today. Mr. Valeri's death led us to... The fact that there was more than one deceased seemed to bring us back to square one. Odette revealed some information she had been keeping to herself. Although Mitya the void in the ley lines hasn't been filled. As it happened, Patoshka filled the void left by Mitya's return from the ley line. The girl I thought was child sister Tonya turned out to be another of the... Vodyanitsa was swallowed by... Come to think of it, Patoshka was about to walk into the snowstorm at that... And Renova, unaware that Mitya would return, was concerned that her soul would overflow from the ley lines. That's why she used a... Looking back, I suppose that... No one could have expected anyone who walked into the snowstorm to return. But just after nightfall, Mitya returned, bringing crucial information with him. Various truths began to surface, including that all of us were already dead, and that the ruler of death was here among us. Then, after revealing her true form, Renova callously claimed 2 souls. In fact, everyone was already dead by the time we took the photo. Now, only Mitya and I remain. And that covers everything.
Your work isn't finished here yet, is it? The trap...
The water imp's song threw things off a little, but it is of no consequence. The ley lines have already anchored your soul, and the first ray of light tomorrow morning will take you back. I, meanwhile, need to review my attitude towards the water imp race.
So the reunion in the night that Vodyanitsa mentioned, I suppose...
That just leaves you, traveler. My power only allows me to temporarily separate your soul from your body. The ley lines of Tevat would not accept you, and your soul is firmly anchored to your body by your will, for a descender like you, who is not bound by Tevat's rules. Your death can only be brought through the most violent of means, such as directly destroying either your body or soul. I have no interest in involving myself with descenders, for now. Although...
One last question then. All our struggles and
Death abides no reason. Besides, to me, it is nothing more than a self-indulgent charade in the face of death. Mere mortal...
Grim Reaper, you really know how to get on my nerves.
I'm not here to ingratiate myself with you. I kill merely because your deaths are necessary.
Oh, you've made that quite clear. But humans don't take well to being scorned. Not even by the gods.
This is futile. You must know that you are powerless against me in my own domain. I suggest that you save your strength.
For what? Maybe we can't change it. But if nothing else, we can at least teach you to have some respect for the dead.
Audacious.
How are you holding up,
What happened?
How much do you remember?
What do you mean?
Has Odette already forgotten? Mitya?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't you remember anything?
Yeah, I remember now, Conrad. Looks like we guessed right. Just like me when Odette found me at the Armory Palace. For some reason, everyone killed by the Ruler of Death eventually came back to life, just with one catch. They forgot what happened while they were dead.
Odette and the others have already forgotten everything.
Could this be the reason? You said this is the Ruler of Death's symbol, right?
I don't see any.
You don't? Huh. Okay. Does that mean I carved this symbol into my soul? What about you, though? The Ruler of Death mentioned that you're a descender?
A full explanation would get complicated very quickly. But that's essentially it.
Well then, now that it's all over, let's figure out what we've learned. The first thing I notice is that everything here is precisely as we left it, right before our deaths. This confirms that time
They say that right before death, time slows down, and your whole life flashes before your eyes.
That must be how you know you have one foot in the afterlife by that point. Anyway, clearly the few days we spend in the afterlife. This also aligns with previous reports of widespread temporary memory. To those unaware of the truth, dying and coming back to life must feel similar to a short bout of catatonia. This leaves me with a couple big questions. What are the conditions that...
If nothing else, I think it should.
Right. This time only got Come to think of it, wasn't I about to note something down before I died? I can't remember what it was, but I think it was... sorry, Traveler. I'll catch up with you again later, right?
Sir, if I may, no one of your description has ever shown up in my investigations into Mr. Mitia's friends, yet you two seem very familiar with each other. Could you perhaps tell me where he was in such a rush to get to? And, by the way, have we ever crossed paths? Forgive the presumptuousness, but I feel a vague and indescribable sense of familiarity about...
I can explain everything. Could you help me gather everyone in the theater?
So, Chuganov really is going to shut down the factory. I guess this theater incident actually did us some good after all. So, you said I promised to take you to the Armory Palace while we were in the afterlife, yes? I believe you. I think I even have a vague memory of it. Agreed. Let's check in on her first. The whole reason for our trip to the Armory Palace anyway is to figure out what's going on with her health.
How can it not be called beauty?